um, suñ fancy Gam Football Fan Forum ñoo dal si waat rek si seen weekly sports programme bi hashtag New Gambian Football di am suma usual guest rek suñ usual regular commentator Habibi Faw Buba Jallow unfortunately tey tamit mu ngi xat so munut ko make hopefully inshallah Rabbi Lamin Baro dinañu join si kanam tuuti pour continuer suñ show bi rek tey dinaa jël the mantle from Buba pour host programme bi comme noo leen ko gisee si flyers yi rek we have very host of topics that we wanted to discuss affecting Gambian football right now. Unfortunately, waroon nañoo am the captain of the national team, the Pamodu Jan. But unfortunately, he's been caught up with some family errands. Ba loolu tax na sax munuñ ko na am tey waaye métlu na ko torop nag waroon naa nekk si show bi tey waaye jaam ak buga mi yàlla dogalam understand and appreciate everything for the past years anytime suñ ko callee rek he's always willing to to come and share thoughts with us balaa maa def dara rek dinañ also am ne ñu ngi expect pour am the PRO of Gambia Football Players Association because xam nañ ne they had a very important function that is award night boo xam ne ñu ko jagleel si seen players yi ñoo xam ne play nañ si National League bi which football fraternité yi yëpp rafetlu nañ ko trop because loolu doon na loo xam ne la sax it was long overdue foog naa ne amoon na waaye well done to the players association set executive and the whole membership for taking that bold step and responsibility in organizing such and very important event, first of its kind, the Helsi Dekabi. You ngi look forward nag pour am seen PRO bi pour ñu mën a share thoughts with us regarding their preparation pour seen event bi this weekend. Balaa maa def dara rek dinaa bàyyi Mr. Habib Fall suma co-host bi Mr. Habib mu nuyu ak suñu fans yi.
Wow, assalamualaikum everybody. Once again, ñëwaat nañ seen usual Friday programme bi comme ngeen ko dee xamee rek every Friday dañuy mën a am a line-up of what's trending ñun dañuy toppal li nga xam ne mooy trend ci Gambian football ñu mun leen ko indil ko defee ñu mun koo discuss seet li nga xam ne moo si gën ñu wax ko ak luñ si xalaat so comme ni ko sana waxee rek ndaa tey waroon na fee ñëw waaye comme que ñun moom ay nit lañ da ngaa decide something else come up so loolu amul benn problème because ndaa saay buñ ko soxlee daf dee ñëw so tey su munta ñëw dañoo xam ne rek munta ñëw te xam ne Friday yi moom duñ jeex so su ñëw tey dinañ ko am some other time so I hope ne we will have a wonderful show because am na a whole lot of things to talk about and then at one point we might have Bara can chip in and the PRO of the Players Association ñoom dinañ ñëw ñëpp xam nañ ne history is in the making because this award night is dafa nekk loo xam ne is one of a kind so ñu ngi urge daal all the sport lovers throughout the country ñu ñëw jéem see jàppa in anyhow ñëw attend or so mu ne support financial yëpp so mu ne dafa ngay tam xam nga just to make it public you can do it so it's a wonderful initiative boo xam ne ñëpp a ko rafetlu definitely so they just stay tuned we will have a wonderful show once again
Habib jërëjëf si sa introduction boobu noonu rek balaa ñoo dem si kanam Habib last weekend was a very important weekend for Fortune Football Club and a club competition for the whole Gambia as well gis nañ ne first leg bi they did extremely well. Win nañ seen home game bi 3-0 in Banjul, and then the fortnight was supposed to be the return leg in Algiers. You gis ne Fortune play nañ last weekend, and then they lost 3-0, and actually lost on penalty shootout because it was 3-3 on aggregate. So they kind of lost through penalty shootout. Lan nga si jàngat because foog naa ne am nga opportunity seetaan match bi live, and then how ma lan mooy sa assessment.
Wow, Fortune lu xew si game bi soo ko mënee the perspective so I made the opportunity to watch the first leg, which I did. I was at the stadium. Bu ma gisee first leg bi naka la demee, going to the second leg, I was 200% sure. Man, su ma gis-gis ak lu ma xam si football, I was convinced ne no matter what happened in Algiers, Fortune dina qualify. Loolu laa gis ndax dafa nekk 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-2 draw. Man lu ma gisoon daal, no matter what happened, Fortune will end up eliminating Setif from this tie, because gis naa Setif ñu ñëw ci first half bi, gis naa the way they approach the game, ak gis naa buñ demee 2 goals down, coach bi xam nga dafa change teamam bi indi ay 4th player, but still after bringing all those 4 players, Fortune were able to hold them, very, very easy. They defended well, they played well. Yankuba was fantastic. So apart from that one-on-one bu guy am, gisuma woon fa la loo xam ne I wasn't very worried going to the second leg. Definitely. Why after also watching the second leg, because how the team was set up to play against Setif away, I don't know. What tactics were they using? I don't know. Why foogoon naa ne we could have done better, despite the fact ne gis naa some videos yu génn fan yi yu ma seetaan yoo xam ne soo xoolee the referee's performance throughout the game, bi nga xam ne it was really, really, really below par. That was not a good officiating. You could see it. Am nga red card bi baaxut, ñëpp gis nañ loolu. Tackles yoo xam ne la against Fortune di fuuf sa foul yëpp gis nañ ko. Waaye man despite all that, man gëm naa ne mentally suñ prepare bu baax, we could have qualified from that tie home and away after leading 3-0, because ku xam naar xam ne du change when it comes to trying to get what they want. They will do whatever it takes to win. Loolu tamit dafa nekk loo xam ne Gambians yi dañ si war a jànge ne pour xam ne when there is something at stake, eyes on the prize, you will do whatever it takes to win, because naar yàgga nañ ko def duñ si am sa fine. Am I understand? So ñu mal lu ma si mën a jàngee rek mooy we have to post-morte in everything. We have to check why you move to the next stage.
Yeah, actually, looking at the different components, game, like I'm not gonna be surprised. Magisne Nari try to play some tricks just to win the game, which is very, very usual, normal in African football. In football as a whole, anything regarding like home and away, like everybody wants to have home advantage. And I think Algerians came to the Gambia, they had some issues. We have to agree the fact that issues more, they didn't have a team boss, and then how it works. But kudos to the president of Fortune. He took a personal move to make sure that more diffuse everything, trying to show them that it's because of inexperience of Fortune Football Club, which which is very key. In leadership, you have to take responsibilities. And I think Hassan did that very well and in his capacity as the president of Fortune Football Club. But knowing my little experience I had with the Setan Nari New Gambia, I knew they would bring a different team when it comes to the away game. When they play home, they play with a different team. When they goes away, they play with a different team. All they do when they play away is they try to get that goal, one goal. If they can win games, they're gonna win it. They will not don't sit back a little bit. They will go to look for that first goal, putting a man like an away goal advantage. It doesn't work with them in Banjul, and I think that was something that was very positive going into the return leg. But I knew the Nari, all they would do in the return leg is they would be offensive minded. That's one thing, which they did very well. I'm sure all their game plan will be first. Let's get that early goal and we take the game to them. They did have an early goal, irrespective of what happens in the game regarding the referee, because I don't want to be selfish here. When it comes to try to post-mortem what Lehel, let's be critical, let's think critically and think outside the box and look at all the different ingredients. Lalmota Nyaka. So we will be able to find solutions. But to me, I would be selfish if I said then Waterfield be on one side, New Roseko, those are things that are normal. They are normal. As long as you make a home team, I'm got advantage. I'm got advantages. Groundsman day, everybody. You have your own ways of your own tricks of doing things. And that is not an excuse as far as I am concerned. That is not an excuse from New because New Ball or support Fortune, and I don't think that's not an excuse. I think Fortune were overwhelmed because we won 3-0. We should have taken like more robust approach of the game, which we did not. We considered an early goal, and that change is going to build. They will build confidence, and I believe before 30 minutes they were 2-0 up. So that was like a win-win situation for them. They had nothing to lose, So all they have to do is a little bit protective and then go forward. And then the red card came in. We should also be aware of few things. Once you playing away, Amulo advantages. In terms of the referees, Amulo advantages. You would not get those 50-50 calls. You would never get it, irrespective of who you are. Yes, China hell, you brought in a Moroccan referee to play that game. You will start thinking, having eyebrows, oh, is that real? That shouldn't have happened. But CAF, that is not Fortune's, that is not our, it's not our responsibility to decide who comes and who don't go. And yes, the performance of the referee can be questionable. That's one thing. But I think we have ourselves to blame. Fortune, I think, they did extremely well in the first half, in the first leg, but I think we did extremely poor in the second leg, and that's the reason we lost.
No, basically, I would not put all the blame entirely on the referee. But one thing also have to put into because referees are very important in a football match. There's sometimes one decision that I change the whole complexion of the game because that Fortune penalty is a clear penalty because the guy didn't kick the ball, he kicked the striker clearly inside the box. So imagine if Fortune scored a goal, meaning Fortune penalty, meaning the Algerian have to score 5 goals, which was most likely. I understand. So entirely, I'm not blaming the referee for everything, but a game of that magnitude, we expect a decent officiate.
Yeah, agree now, but let's.
The referee be his game. Referee below. Fortune is a small team from the Gambia. I understand. Fasagi performance, do you made of team in South Africa or Simba or Ali? No. Do what waaye xam nga Fortune kii mu ndaw la am mu ngay soog a jóg mu ngay ñëw you could do whatever and you get away with it xam nga because ñun amuñ de support boo xam ne moom leen nit at CAF to press things I understand why man like I said after watching the first leg I was thinking ne no matter what happened in the second leg Fortune dina qualify because now the impression but defensively team B is not very good but the fact that we allow them to attack us all the game moo tax gaay win ñu man dama feel ne dañ jox gaay too much of cër team boo doon 3-0 gom naa ne soo ko songee mu nga am teguñu benn goal suñ ko score woon tay bi jeex na dafa was four
basically man I am going to look at it like on a more broader perspective and I will take the first leg as the reference. What have you done right to win the first game? That's one thing. Yes, there are things that are very questionable. That is the decision of the referee, which we all agree. We can agree on it. We can. I'm actually. I didn't actually say that some of the decision that the referee took is right, but let's put it this way: Nari will do everything humanly possible to win the game. That's fine. Fortune should have played their card very, very close to their chest. Try to be much more compact. I think that mentality of the first goal try to open up everything in the game. Even from that point on, they could have like done a little bit better. But I think, sometimes if you are on those kind of situations, it's difficult where you only have to go for your option, the better option. Unfortunately, only had one option, that is to go and defend, and sometimes that could be very, very dangerous. And I think that is exactly what happened. The referees did its quota, and I hope people that are assessing him will. But I'm not surprised. I'm not really surprised when I saw a Moroccan official that was going to officiate that game. Hamnane, Fortune has to be at their best to be able to get something out of the game. Even though, whereas on paper we have done everything possible to qualify, but technically football is played on different angles and in different areas. We have to be realistic with that, especially when it comes to African Club Championship. Sativ, it's a big team, it's a huge team. Fortune did enough to knock them out. I think it was like 50-50 even after the first game. I think we got a very, very good chance of qualifying because we were at the driving seat, so we had our destination in our own hands. But unfortunately, we let it go, we let it slip. We let it slip the second time, and then they will always go in for the third time. When they had the third goal, that's going to change the dynamics of everything. Now Fortune has to think from one thing another. And look at when they scored the third goal. Look at when they scored the third goal. It was like more of a fighting, even though Fortune were a goal down. It's still like we are better concentrated. To avoid certain things. Could that be done since at the initial time? Yes, it could. Unfortunately, we did not do enough, and I think we have ourselves to blame. Yes, the referee played a part. It played a very important part, but we still have ourselves to blame.
I'm nga boo gisee ñuy mention referee bi fii ñaari décision yoo xam ne yëpp turning point la huge turning point red card bi a man down. So by hell, after the red card, immediately less than 5 minutes, guy then scored the third goal. The player with red card was one of the players you have stamina, you hair for the team. They were fighting, winning balls. So that was a huge minus Bunjene red card which was a very poor decision if you ask me. The second decision was the penalty appeal. Boo xam ne defender bi laalut ball bi player Fortune la ci biir inside the penalty box. Those two decisions could have changed the entire game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So one more, Fortune will still play with 11 men, and two, having that penalty, think score one, right now we're talking about something else. But lu ma
Yeah,
la wax
let's
mooy
let.
duma put entirely ne defal moo njaay. No, we also have to check ñun as a club what went wrong better ñun mënuñoo attack because man gëmoon naa ne even from the first half we could have scored depending on the approach of the game because man Sétif bii nii xam naa duñ sori because Sétif seen name bee fa nekka waaye nekkaatuñ they are no longer the team they used to be. yaa ma understand they are no longer the team they used to be loolu tam mu fa so suñ leen attaquoon dañoo score waaye bu ñu scoree early goal boobu noonu that was a mess 4 minutes and balaa 30 minutes 2-0 wow that was a problem waaye fekk ñuy mention those key decision boo xam ne referee bi moo te gis naa fa some bad tight tackles yoo xam ne it's in the eyes of the referee close very close to the referee am na boo xam ne sama no waaye naar ñoo garaw no sana naar den garaw te Gambian teams itam Gambian teams we have to learn this way mbay we have to learn to win dirty we have look aso bi la ñëpp a ko def we have to learn to play dirty and win du mujjee fen fan la moo mujjee.
Yeah, among people like me in my capacity as a coach, there are certain things that I can say because I have to respect the fact that some people are looking up to me. But the fact of the matter is, football has different components. Ñun suñu responsibility when you play football on the pitch, train the team, prepare the team to the best of our ability. Pick the team that we think is balanced. There's a quality in it. There's depth in it to pick to play. But hey, football has different components. In as much as we wanted to move as a nation, we have to put all those things into consideration. Football games are not only won on the pitch.
Yeah,
they are in won on the pitch. I think that's something that we have to sit down post-mortem. Why are we losing games that we think we could win? Especially that is home. And that's why I was so impressed with Fortune. They played home, they won, they did everything that they have to do to win that game. They did. Now they don't have experience, and I know it will all go down to one thing: lack of experience. If there was experience, there are things that should not have happened in Nigeria. Right? We lost, lesson learned. But what we got to do as a team, as a nation, Lima or Jane and technical team, to post-mortem everything critically, and then to come up with a blueprint of how they should go by things in case they are in those kind of situations, which is going to help to move forward. Fortune take a big step. Tell me which Gambian team came in the home game and won 3 in the first leg.
No.
I don't think during my coaching career, I haven't seen it yet. Gambia. Fortune did extremely one thing. They were very, very comfortable home. They did their homework very well home. They won 3-0 and moved on. So it's something that they can build on. Unfortunately, they cannot build on it on the second leg, and we lost. We are out on penalty shootout. Hands down, they did their quota. No one saw this coming. Fortune will be win Satif 3-0 in Banjul, Ken Gisutko. But one thing that is with the team is they trust themselves, they believe in themselves, and they worked as a team to achieve what they achieved. That is well done to the technical team, well done to the players, well done to the president, well done to the executive, and well done to the Gambian fans, because everybody give their support in one way or the other. But it is time for us to move that step ahead. I have seen a lot of things trending on social media, on Gambian sports journalists and stuff. Then what up the move forward, the move forward from these kind of situations, and which we definitely need to do. But overall, it was an experience for Fortune, worth spending like $5-6 million on it. But we have to look at everything at a different angle as a team if you want to move forward.
Well, now when it comes to this post-mortem of what happened in Algeria, man, just Fortune as a football club, or Jane and his technical team entirely. Man, I think the Gambia Coaches Association has a role to play, because I mean the opportunity to watch the game in Banjul ba pare am nañ the chance to watch the game online tamit so ñoom it ñi nga xam ne ay coaches leen te jàng nañ they are license holders ñoom ku si nekk am nga a role to play to check clearly xam nga and come up with solution. In our WhatsApp group Gambia Football Fans Forum one guy I forget his name he came up with some very very good questions yoo xam ne it did answers te yëpp mu ngi ko based on what happened ci suñ match bi ak Algeria first leg bi ak second leg bi so moom mu ngi urge the coaches around the country to come together and try to think deep xam nga mun a wax nit ñi exactly what are the problems ba ñun suñ xam nga suñ nekkee in this kind of position suñ ko mun a execute because dëgga sana man laa la wax de man going to the second leg I can sleep easy dama nelaw ba xadoor man lu ma gëmoon mooy they can lose waaw they can lose 2-1 2-0 3-2 you know xam naa ne that was a possibility waaye man gëmoo woon ne they could lose in a manner boo xam ne dañoo ñoom duñ dem to the next stage man gëmoo woon yàlla xam na man gëmoo woon waaye comme ni nga ko waxee rek we can learn a lot from it xam nga te nit ñi buñ fàtte ne play this competition is not cheap so Fortune dañ jël a very big step you know pour represent Gambia so te I also felt ne tamit Gambians yëpp ñëwoon nañ behind the team xam nga dañ téyewoon Fortune like a national team not like Fortune a club team because Gambians léegi ñu ngi start to think outside the box ñu ngi take more ownership of what belongs to them than before di support team rek ne man damaa support team bi damaa hate team bi yooyu gis naa ne mu ngi wàññeeku because since Fortune dem si this tournament gis naa Gambians ñëw together coaches fans from different clubs ñëw nañ together pour gis ne Fortune am nga am nañ a very good result loo xam ne man maa ngi ko rafetlu bu baax because it's the way forward we have to come together nekkee ne am na club bu demal Gambia because club boobu noonu soo xoolee si bési Fortune bi you could see our national flag on it so moo laa woon ne Fortune are not there for themselves they are there for Gambia waaye ba léegi there is work to be done sana there is huge work to be done and you and your people you have the biggest role to play mooy to check what went wrong you know fancy they want to know.
Actually, that's very true. The association, one thing Fortune did this time around, I haven't seen in my capacity as the assistant secretary, Bimaneke Gambia in the coaches association. You wrote officially to the coaches association for help on technical matters, and this a member of the coaches association traveled with the team as well, which is very impressive, and I'm sure he's going to add some quality in the team as well. Like he said, it's always important for this thing to be looked into technically, to look at all the technical faults, all the technical defaults, because actually, as yeah, sorry about that. Someone was calling me, and then Mangi online, and someone it's a tactical failure and tactical indiscipline, and I think it's something that we can definitely digest on to come up with solutions and recommendations in moving forward. And in going forward, all these teams we can do a technical study on them and try to write something in case any other teams should pick it. Because teams like cultures. They all had a playing cultures. Some teams have a DNA because now the way they play. They have a lot of tricks. So if they definitely need goals, they can play direct because but most of the time, all they wanted to look for that space and then through balls and stuff. And I think it's important you try to make a feasibility study on them, bala ñu leen a jot. So we can move as a nation a bit. In moving forward, ba léegi ñu ngi séntu ne dinañ gis Gambia Football Players Association seen PRO bi maa ngi gis ñu ma binda di ma wax ne na he's having some difficulties on electricity, but he's definitely hoping to be here at some time in the show. So, Players Association Award Night, Abib. It's a big night in Gambian football.
Which one?
Because Mansour Malaje, I would say they are trying to send a very big signal, not only to all the allied associations in the country, but also to the Gambia Football Federation, who should be in a position to be organizing award nights for all categories, for all components in football, the best referee, the best coaches, the best male coach in the first division, second division, both male and female, the best player. Like we saw. International bodies looking at that. We know we have priorities which we have to attain first, but should we start moving all these components in put into one basket and try to reorganize everything and move forward? The Players Association make a big statement by organizing the first of its kind award night. And I have seen the shortlisting, which is very professional. One thing I can tell you is I'm really pleased. I'm really impressed with the way they are going by their business. I think they are putting everything into consideration, even though this is the first time. Even though we have seen some people who are trying to legitimize their effort, because listening when you get announced player of the season, whilst it is not even confirmed. Lulu dafa derail the effort of the executive of the Players Association. But hey, what an event, this weekend, Abib.
Yeah, man moom dama kontaan. Boo gisee ma kontaan mooy man bugguma benn other group mu def ko su passé ñoom man dama feel ne they are the right association to do it. One, they man ñoom suñ ko defee they are more independent. yaa ma understand, and ñoom ñu ngi follow league bi first, second and female league. The fact that ñoom they are on the ground watching the league, man dama feel ne ñoom ñoo ko war a organize. te I'm really happy ne it's happening. All what I'm saying like mooy they need partners. They need partners. Na si nit ñi jàppa. GFF mun naa dimbale gaay, Ministry of Sport mun naa dimbale gaay, private sector si can also come in ñu jàppale gaay, because gom naa ne event bi dina am time mooy nekk one of the biggest event in the country, because Gambians yi ñu ngi start di bugg seen league bi, ñu ngi watch the league, ñu ngi idolize national league players yi. Am I understand? So suñ jàppalee this association sana duñ ko rëccu. te gis naa ne boys yi they are very determined. ñu fa nekk yëpp are determined. They want to go, they want to learn, they want to make a change, they want to change narratives. So all what I'm saying here rek mooy na leen jàppale private sector si, sport ministry bi ak GFF nañ jàppale this association pour boy yi mun a am luñ bugg a am, because they want to make players feel important. At least sana soo play ba ligue bi jee xam nga ñu mun a out players yi, te loolu dafa yokk ligue bi hype, because fu nekk ni this year suñ joxee best player bi ak yooyu yow next year nga no ma ne Mr. Njie nga fa woon, man I have to be there. Mr. Njie man daxut ma play, man I just need to be more serious. So damaa ñëw. So awards yi dafa spice up our league, dafa tax league bi gën a am doole. Play di compete to be in that shortlist, comme ni ñëpp fighter to be in the Ballon d'Or. Noonu la moo demee. So man leen rek moo ma si métti mooy dama am a surprise trip, so am nga du ma fekk Gambia, te man dama nekk di ko xam ne loo xam ne dafa nekk Gambia loo xam ne is historique, dama dee bëgg a di ko fekkee. So bii nu mu demee nii ma am yoon bu gàtta ma xam nga ma travel nii, loolu moo ma si métti. But apart from that, all is good. All is
Yeah,
good. All is good.
we are actually very much disappointed because Gam Football Fan Forum, our intention was to bring you this event live
Like,
to our followers around the world because we think this is very historic, in the in the welfare of Gambian football players. For so long, the players have suffered. The players are disorganized. The players have gone through unnecessary suspensions that we think could have been avoided. It's only in the Gambia that I think you suspend players indefinite 1 year, 2 years, which then see what a vessel. We have to gauge ourselves on the happenings of football nowadays. But I'm glad, like you said, it's an independent body. I have had a chat with them previously regarding what are their objectives. And I can categorically tell you, Abib, this is a group that wants to change Lingua narratives. They want to make history for themselves. They want to represent the players and the interests of players. Lima Och, Lima Och, with all the allied association, take shoot. The only way we can contribute immensely in football development is taking our responsibilities. The GFF cannot do this alone. We have to be very, 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 very realistic. What we expect from GFF is to subvert these allied associations to be independent, to be very independent, to do things that they have to do. The coaches association started, with Gam Football Fan Forum. And I think all these things generated from there. When the coaches, a coach of the month was being given, and then everything started coming up. Players association, coming up, doing this, which is extremely great. And well done to the GFL. They came in, they said, you know what, this is part of our responsibilities. But we are going to support you in this cause. The reason Little Maiwa is not because I am just trying to praise in GFF or whatsoever. Your Abib, and the listeners and viewers around the world should definitely know this. Okay? We started all this, and then it was like the GFF took their own responsibilities. They took their own responsibilities, and then come up with strategies of helping, empowering them. We are doing this with the Gambia Football Coaches Association and the Players Association. We are doing it individually when they only give a certificate out, but they end up giving like a champagne, a certificate, and now here they are. They think we can go bigger, and they are going bigger. I am a big disappointment the Coaches Association didn't go bigger because they could have gone bigger. Okay, the Coach of the Year that was given to Jane should have been a very big ceremony, and it shouldn't only spawn with Jane. It was a first division player, a first division team a Coach of the Year, second division Coach of the Year, female league, both first and second division. All right, all these things should have come into fray, but everything has a start. It's just a great beginning for the Coaches Association, and now the Players Association has taken that bold step. And I think, in terms of helping them to be more independent, Allied Association, the same responsibility is, same funding should definitely come from their fundraising and the GFF. Let's call a spade a spade. The GFF should be in a position to give administratively, I don't know. But I know that there should be subvention to all these allied associations. And I understand that the Referees Association, then they subvent. Okay? Maybe they have started it with the Coaches Association. Maybe they have started with the Players Association, which we think should definitely continue because these are very important components. Of the very important components of the GFF. So you need to give them the opportunity to be independent and try to work for the development of football. If coaches are doing Coach of the Month, players are doing Players of the Month, it's very, very easy to coordinate as an association to bring all those things together at the end of the year and try to organize a huge award night that would be on a yearly basis and which it should be part of their calendar at the end of every league season. So I think it's important you know the fact that the Players Association took this initiative and they did consultation with almost all the people they think can play a part in for them to realize this. Okay, and I also one thing I am pleased with, they also included voting from the fans. So which means they also give opportunities to others as well out there, to also have a say on the whole thing, which is awesome, which is extremely awesome.
Definitely.
Which is going to put a very good weight on the whole thing. I think this one is a laudable initiative. We are very much disappointed at Ghana Football Fan Forum. We wanted to, to cover that event. Abifal, if we knew earlier, we could have even changed your ticket. To make sure that our fans around the world are like they had an
Yeah,
opportunity to watch this
yeah,
because this is
yeah.
important. But hey, we are not losing hope. We are not losing hope. We're going to do everything in our powers to get someone on the ground to give us a coverage. Or if any of our partners are also going to show the award night live, and we will definitely try to partner with them and take it and broadcast it live for our fans. This is because
Definitely,
this is very, very important event.
definitely. I would have loved to because one you know how we do it. Take some very good pictures, a very decent coverage. Why I have the feeling that even we will be covered. There is no single doubt about that because legi gis naa nit ñi ñu ngi start di xam ne hey this boy means business. So how many it will be covered? Waaye xam nga rek nit ku nekk ak ni nga doxalee man I do things differently. I choose my spots. I know which xam nga when to take shots. So how many yooyu moom dinaa ko miss. Waaye xam naa ne we will have a coverage of the whole event. So comme ni ko waxee rek together we can do a lot of things. Lu bari mun nañ ko def together. Mbooloo ma doole. Comme ni nga ko waxee ñun GFF ñun suñ plateforme bi we criticize and praise. That's what we do. If you do it good, then I mention ñun amuñ problem with anybody. We will say things the way they are. Soo defee lu baax dañ ko wax. Soo defee li nga xam ne dañ feel ne du right dañ ko indi ci plateforme bi nii ñu discuss ko. Waaye ñun nekkuñ ci kabudu boo xam ne we will only be speaking bad things about GFF. Did it? GFF, they are Gambians like me and you. Suba dañ faa génn kenn moo faa nekk. So all what we do is when they do things right dañ ko wax suñ defee loo xam ne tamit is not right dañ ko wax ñun foofu leen nekk. Waaye talking about this football award night, Sana, it's a huge night for Gambian football. It's a huge night for Gambian football. Te bu ma xoolee seen short list bi suma main in the first division particularly players you guys shortlist the final three. No, loolu is undebatable. Loolu it's a solid trio because man I've been lucky to watch the league. These now players you guys select. They are spot on. Sana, mun naa la ko spot on. Second division, spot on. Loolu moo laa woon ne boys yi they are spending time watching the league because soo xoolee players yuñ shortlist ci final three bi si nga xam ne boy yi ñu ngi stand league. Yeah, so man awma dara lu ma say wax just to say big thank you to all of them behind this worthy initiative. And I hope that every year it will be bigger and better because that's what we expect. So once again, like na gaay gina si xam nga na private sector si gina si
Do once again. Then encourage players. That's exactly where I want to come in. This
no
is a fundraising event, Bohamne. If we want the Players Association to be self-sustainable, we have to come out and do our quota. How do we do our quota? Mange Och Gambian players here, because I know most of them are watching this show. Some of them are definitely watching this show. Let them come out and take ownership of Liga Mom. This association is there to look for the interest of Gambian players. Okay? pour Gambian players la. This is an association that is going to fight for you tooth and nail if things happen to you that are not. All right, these are things we have to put into consideration. The Players Association is for the Gambian players. Strictly for Gambian players. It's there for your own interest. Go out and buy the tickets. Go and grace the occasion. Cheer up your people that are representing you. No, you can make from Gilson Bob. No for the interest of Gambian players. Te ndimbal nak dafa fekkal wa loxol borom. Li nga mom so si jito ken dula muna wa dara. Why buñ tok ñu bëgg base our things with the administrators. I'm not saying responsibility. They would wanted to come in. They would wanted to come in. If they come in, si luñ wara dugala. Suñ fa dugalé sen halis, su fa GFF defé halis, then fa wara dugal sen halis. Because the Gambia Football Players Association, it's a very important component in the development of football in the country. I can tell you one thing. There was a player that was suspended for indefinitely. Mangi Armed Forces, Mangi training. That was the coach then. I was there. Why can't you go to the Players Association? But in those days, Players Association be haven't been say. But now they have the voting right. The Coaches Association has a voting right. So these are associations they need to look into the interests of Gambian coaches and players respectively. So you su fekkee ne demuloo pour sustain nga dimbale leen pour ñu mun a self-sufficient, how do you expect pour ñu mun a taxaw fight for the interests of players?
But Sana, you make a very important point. Sometimes our authorities they create this association just to get the votes for themselves. You understand?
Yeah, exactly.
Then they create. Sometimes authorities are behind this association just for the vote. Loolu nag warta mun a am. Suñu play association, number one priority is to defend the interest of the players. Loolu dafa war a leer. Ñoom it suñ buggee seen groupe bi am mu legit nit ñi respect leen seen priority is to defend the players. They have to defend the players. Loolu soo ko defutee nit ñi dañoo xam ne yow you are there for a particular group of people. Te loolu gis na ko in the past. But seeing the Players Association, man, our feeling towards them because I saw young people ñoo xam ne they are very determined and they want to make a change. Man, loolu laa gis in their faces. Waaye boo gisee ma indi lii da ngaa gis association boo xam ne they are just there to empower the current authorities, which is bad. That's very bad. So if you, for example, if you are from the Coaches Association, your number one target is to defend the interests of the coaches. Lolo more. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but let me tell you this. The experience when they am, and I can sit here today, Mawalane, Lalmota, some of the coaches are not defendable. I can tell you that. And I'm not scared to say it because I personally had a conversation with coaches New Hamne. They should be part of the association, paying their monthly dues because it's in the constitution of the Coaches Association. And it is in the constitution of the Gambia Football Federation that there must be a coaches association, a referees association, and a players association. These are important components. But what are our responsibilities? It is something that we will come back here. We will get a Secretary General of the Coaches Association, Secretary General of the Players Association, Secretary General of the Referees Association to know the importance of these three allied associations in the development of Gambian football. It is really, really important for us to know that. These are important components. If you joke with players, football do up. If you joke with coaches, who is going to train the players? If you joke with the referees, there is no game. So this is any reason why these three allied associations should not take a leadership role in trying to look and defend the interests of their own colleagues. The referees are doing it to the best of their ability. Players, when this COVID money came, that's the time they started making noise. And finally, they went back and sit back and realized that we could have done better. Now they are putting their house in order. And the way they are moving now, they are moving in the right direction. And the Coaches Association has to follow suit. We have to follow suit. That has to be said. And I will defend coaches to the best of my ability because I will only say the right thing. But do not defend law that I don't know. I'm gonna say things that I don't know, that I feel it's okay, it's gonna help for the interest of coaches in the country. Okay? And we have to move on. GFF, they want to understand that the executive has to understand that they have an executive responsibility. But also have to respect the allied associations in their own dealings. They also need to look into the interest of their members, because that's the reason why they are elected into office. So they need to have that freedom, not only so the election is coming, or if you support it. No, it should be an yearly subvention that should be sent to all this. If they can subvent the regional associations, if GFF can subvent regional associations, I think they should be able to subvent the Coaches Association, the Referees Association, and the Players Association.
Asan am nga Gambia ñu sun problème mooy nit ñi pour ñu defend interest Gambia or interest the entire association moo dee nekk problème. Nit ñi always they are trying to defend a particular group or kabudu. Loolu moo ngi dee sonal. Oh, yow li nga see am. So bàyyi xel suñu dee choose our leaders, that's how we do it. So the fact that lolu nekku di change, the same thing might happen. Then you create all these member associations. While when it's time for change do not, even though the authorities they fail in many things, but still now those same people, so they to vote, they will still vote them into office. So the problem also is with the people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Last time, stakeholders are failing Gambian football. The stakeholders, Coaches Association beginning see, Referees Association beginning see, Players Association beginning see, and also the main stakeholders, those are club owners. Because GFF they should be able to be held accountable of anything that they are doing. But if no hamnele, they are not taking up money up to their responsibilities as stakeholders. What did you expect? To help the GFF grow, you need to be able to tell them the truth. You need to be able to hold them accountable of things that they do. But so they may AGM, they will come up with things that they have accomplished. Even if I would stand and said, okay, we have a failure in this, but that's where we all stop. And can we move forward as a nation, as a footballing nation?
So when there's a failure, and some journalists on the ground, do not like exactly look at you feel. So when there's a failure, people have to know and why. Just because we fail and then that's it. But that's Gambia for you. So Hamlubai, they call you names. And we have journalists Hamne, just a few of them, Gambia, few journalists, Nyore Bugawa issues Hamne is very sensitive. The rest they want to be friends. They want to be friends with the federation because they want to be important. They want to have badges. They want to go to AFCON. They want to know the team. They want to be close to the coach. So those type of journalists, do you want that about Gambian football? They are just selfish. Do you want that about any problem or solution? To be with the system. Wow, so team when they travel, you get first-hand information about the team. loolu is not journalism. Journalism man loolu man si man da dafa yomba. You have to defend your people. You have to talk about issues yi nga xam ne moom mooy sonal suñ football mooy sonal coaches yi mooy sonal referee yi waaye journalist yoo xam ne yow referee yi suñ leen fayutee doo ñemee wax coaches yi suñu amee problème doo ko wax. I understand. You only talk about few things. What kind of journalism sana mooy loolu?
Yeah,
Purman
is important. Purman is
so
important.
I don't even get it how they award some sport journalists.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to sit back as important stakeholders in the development of Gambian football. The journalists have to understand that they are one of the most important components because masses in Gambian are depending on them for information. And I think they have to be very, very, very sensitive on that issue. Don't be a friend to Sanayafa if you think that Sanayafa. You can be a friend with me, but try to defend the integrity of Puyosa job, and I think it's important. I have always been like very straightforward with the journalists, and I think do they have to improve in some of their work ethics? Yes, they did. If you are too close to these authorities as well, there are times that you would not want to say anything about them, and I think that is overall it is just Munyosonal as a nation. But we will have to come up with strategies. We will have to come up with opinions. How best we can help the FF, because to me it is not about the FF alone. I mean, this is a very important topic. Very important comment from Nas to you. Abib, I disagree with you about the selection because Fakema Jame of Falcons Football Club deserve to be in the last three of the young best player. My reason is, as a defender,
I want to come in there because
he scored 7 goals
I saw the comment
and had more than 7 assists with such a performance. Why was he not part of the last 3? I think
I'll come there.
I'm not going to defend. I'm not going to defend Nas, but this is a very important justification. If that is what is happening, I think also it was probably could have been an oversight. But with a defender having 7 goals and having more than 7 assists, that's a massive achievement.
No, he even get it wrong. It's even more than that. The boy is right. He is 100% right. That boy should be in the final list. Maybe I oversighted. He scored double figures. He's a left back player. He scored double figures and double assists. Double figures in assists, double figures in goals. Am I understand? So what na diga? Fakeba Nyugo Oye Heinze is one of the best players in the second division. Lolumo man, I've watched Falcons multiple times. I've watched the league. So he is spot on. He is really spot on. The boy scored, I think, 11 goals from a left back position, and most of the goals him score, more in big games. Fakeba scored decisive goals. I would say definitely TU is right. Is really right. Fakeba is one of the best players in the second division. Nekut striker, Nekut midfield player. He's a modern day wing back player, and he scored 10 to 11 goals. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely. And that goes back to the Players Association.
I agree with him.
That's why we should have a diverse opinion on issues. I've been to look for what Gambian players for us back home. He did. Agree that that particular player, it's one of the best players. In his position in the second division. So let's not hold on to new blame all these things, because selection in the first place is never fair, and this is the first of its kind, and they're taking a road bohamne. it's long overdue. Now that they have taken the initiative of selecting players, awarding deserving players, this is a lesson learned, and I believe they should try to be more robust in trying to check up their statistics, player statistics and stuff. So Hamnane, in moving forward, they should be able to have a committee that's going to look into all these players and players and statistics before they can make any announcement.
No, it's not about one is trying to blame the player association, but you have to agree when facts are on the table. You understand? Boy, will money lolo amla because man, I've seen Pakeba play many times. I've watched the second division team. I've watched second division a lot this year. Numbers on me is on match. I understand. If you score more than 10 goals, he wing back. Most of those goals were winning goals. Not only scoring goals, he was scoring very important goals for his team. Very important goals, but for the assists. Koku is no Pakeba was outstanding. More than why you bunko here, man, dama d'accord because I've never lo hamne mo ko dama ko gis. Dama talk even send derby is no PSG. The same thing. The first derby, he was man of the match. He scored the goal, but for the more assist second goal. I understand. So he was the best player in the team. Numbers and me were. So you're so like a left back player. Nga score more than your strikers.
Your strikers,
it's something lo hamne den ko wara rafetlu.
So he deserves it.
But like you said,
we are on top of the hour, and then come like Chin principle be more. We don't want to be more than on top of the hour. But quickly, Rick, Chin female under 20, they lost to Burkina Faso in the first leg in Banjul. The reason why we don't have it as a topic is simply because none of us had an opportunity to watch the game today. So we would not be fair to anybody, and especially they definitely trust us to give us for us to give our opinion on things that are burning. So I feel it would be very unfair for us to discuss about the female U20. But all we know, they lost. The results are in. They lost 1-0. To Burkina Faso, and I believe the second leg is in a fortnight or next week. Let's wish them all the best, and I am sure also the female national team should also enter camp soon. Because you get engagement. So soon next week, we will then have an opportunity to watch them. To try to gauge them and their opponents, and we will be able to come up with our technical analysis of what we think they need to do if we want to move forward. But the result is tight. 1-0 seems like it's a very tight game. It's always a tight result if it is 1-0, 0-0 and stuff. But we are wishing them all the best of luck, and then in their return leg.
How about Gambia Sana is the same old story. Ñun duñu prepare. Ñun football dafa am calendar. ñoom xam nañ seen calendar xam nañ dates yi nga xam ne moom la team bi war a engage so lii dafa war a nekk a continuation immediately bu ligue bi jeexee ñoom cafe yi dañ waroon a continuer seen training ñuy prepare for these games waaye Gambia ñun ñoo bëgg ay one month training ñun yooyu moo ñu ne xam nga last minute thing and then you want to have results that's not how it goes. Players you have to be on shape they want to train continuously they should be motivated pour ñu mën a win waaye su nekkee da ngaa bëgg di prepare team bi ay last minute xam nga ay 1 week 2 weeks 3 weeks warloo expect moo de because man comme ni nga ko waxee ñun amuñ the chance to watch the league at the game today waaye su ma kooloon am na ñaari boy xam ne ku ma si kooloon tey they could tell me exactly what happened and what went wrong. Why Hamada they were the Gawa prepare.
It's online. The game was live. The game was live on the Facebook page, GFA Facebook page. So all we will do is people like me, I would definitely have an opportunity to watch the game again, and then we will pick it from there. Habib, just la mooy sa last word bi to suñ fans yi ak suñ viewers yi.
waaw we tey li ñoo war a mooy ñu ngi urge everybody mu prepare for on the second. We want people to come out massively to buy the tickets and support the players out night. boo xam ne fanaa ñu ngi ko defee Pencami Hall loo xam ne history in the making la su passé loolu comme ñun like always rek dañoo xool li nga xam ne mooy trend in Gambian football moom la ñoo discuss. So now towards Wednesday we will xam nga nañ ñëw with our flyer ñu xool kan la ñoo invite xam nga for next Friday inshallah. Why once again rek tey mënuñu am Buba Jallow, and then Barrow is also busy because of his job on Fridays. Why bi des assured ne come next Friday nañ fi am a jam-pack programme boo xam ne you will all love it, because ñun moom always dañoo xool li nga xam ne rek mooy amal nit ñi njëriñ ñu wax te duñ si xool ku métti ou kum neex. So that's how we do it here in Gambia Football Fans TV. So once again, it was a good show. ñu ngi ñaanal suñu fans yi ak followers yëpp ñu keep following. ñu xam ne ñun we are there, we are here for them definitely.
Habib jërëjëf si sa wax ju rafet boobu. di continuer di ñaanal fans yëpp ñoo xam ne dañ definitely rely on Gam Football Fan Forum to have information, to listen to us, because if we don't have you, it would have been very difficult for you to talk people pour analyze what we think is right and wrong. All what we can tell you is we are not nekkuñ ci campi kenn duñ enemy kenn, but we will always try to say things that will be beneficial to Gambians, because it's not about come nekatuma Gambia. I live it, I know it, and I know what is going on. So people like me they feel that I am an enemy to this guy or an enemy to that guy. Man, I'm my enemy. If you know me, you should know me in football, and that is where I'll stop. Comme le ma wax rek, nekul politics. Ñom ñu ngi campaign seen campaign. Ñu campaign seen campaign ñun xamuñ loolu. Ñun luñ xam mooy football lañ xam. Te football moom fuñ ko tudda dinañ si sap dinañ si wax lu yóbbu dëkk bi kanam. Neex na la, that's fine. Naxari na la, ëllëg ñun daje nga ne ma suma raka yow tamit ni nga bro balal ma waaye this is what I think is right. Which needs to be done has to be done. So dañoo continuer rek dañoo continuer di hold people accountable, and di leen tabaxal tuuti rek xam nañ ne like we trying to expand, waaye loolu dinañ si ñëwaat, because dañ bëgg a show bi instead of mu nekk once a week ñu ko am si twice a week, dinañ am a different caption of lu ñoo def. All we want to Gambians si xam ne we had players, we had coaches, and we have our players in Europe, every part of the world, and we wanted to follow them week in, week out. We have our coaches, they are around the world, we want to follow them week in, week out. And then du bañ a yaaga sax dinañ am ñoo xam ne dinañ door di invite coaches ñoo xam ne ñu ngi abroad, ñu ngi si yeneen dëkk yi ñu ngi def liggéey ju rafet. Am nañ coaches si Germany, am nañ coaches si America fii, am nañ coaches si Finland, and they're doing it extremely well in football. And I think it's high time ñu uncover ñu xam. am na ñu bari dañ leen a follow on their Facebook pages, but we should be able to know that Gambian football is moving. In its own rights, in different areas. It's definitely moving. We might not be happy with some of the things that are happening, with our authorities or with our players or with our coaches, but overall, our football is definitely moving. It's moving slowly, but we will surely be there. So stay put, and hope to see Amland next week. Boyo Fati, thanks for following up, and then don't hesitate. If you think that we are not saying anything that is right or makes sense,
absolutely,
it is your responsibility to make sure that put us through. We are human like you. We are in the game, and we don't know more than anybody. But look, we are only trying to say things that we think are right. You can come up with your opinion, and it will be respected. In all ways. All we want is while lu nekk suñ ko def rek nañ ko def si dal nañ ko def si yar ak teggin So the message you are trying to put across will always come forward.
Yep. Sana, ñun dey criticize fii nii about the FF. Man ñooñu laa dee dagal si SC Magic. Dañoo am Friday, so we talk about GFF. You understand? My was my opinion, which they might not like or disagree with me. But on a Saturday or Sunday, maa ñëw maa nekk si stade bi. Seetaan match waxtaan ñu ñibbi. No hard feelings.
No.
Because soo fa nekkutee kenn du wax yow. It's as simple as that. So loolu amut. It just ne xam nga comme for example, Barrow is the president. Every day dafa digal loo xam ne neexu. Even the imam, even your imam sa koñ nit ñi dañ ko dee criticize because nu moo jiitee neexul la or nu moo xutbee neexul soo nekkee njiit la criticize. Man dama dee bàyyi suma time bàyyi suma job di cover Gambian football ma ñëw def suma yenn posting nga gis fan bu comment against ma.
Yeah.
Which is normal.
Which is okay.
Because moom nu ma ko defee moom bëggee ko noonu.
Da nga am right nga def li nga bëgg a def waaye kooku tamit dafa am right mu come up with his own opinion. So
exactly.
It's give and take and we have to respect that. We have to
exactly.
Dafa fàttali fans yëpp ne dama fi toog tey pour xaar Lamin Barrow and Buba Jallow who are very tied up but do ma journalist. So I wasn't using any journalist tactic. I'm only trying to discuss things that we think it is useful to football. So I cannot
like Buba Jallow.
Lamin or Buba Jallow, but I only try to hold on to their seat until when they are here. And on that note, Santa and wish you all the best and looking forward to see you next week Friday.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sana. God bless you.